Hey maximizers, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Crystal and this is another vulnerable video. I promised you guys that March was going to be all about money and finances, budgeting, all about money, right? And I promised you all that I would do a very in-depth video about my debt and how I plan to pay that off. So this is my March debt video. I've decided that every month I'll do like a debt check-in to just kind of see like how much I paid off. Probably like towards the end of the month when I plan to do like my monthly check-in with my budget, just to see, you know, if I'm sticking to the budget, if anything happened, just to figure out like, you know, where I am, to just share it with you all. It's like accountability on my part too, because I know that I'm sharing it, so I need to be a little bit better. But I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I fall off the wagon all the time. So if you're interested in seeing my debt and my plan to pay it off, just keep on watching. To be very honest, I have been struggling with credit card debt since I was 18, so about 11 years now. I got my first credit card when I was 18 and going into college, and I think I got my first 2 or 3 credit cards like between 18 and 19, and I used them a lot in college. I had a lot of jobs in college, so I was always able to mostly pay for everything, but I was like buying iPods and buying laptops. Like I was just being very frivolous with my spending of the credit card, and I'm like, oh, I'll pay it back later, because I don't think I really grasped the concept of understanding that what I was doing as an 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old kid in college was going to affect me years later when I want to buy a car in that interest rate, or buy a better car, because my first car had a ridiculous interest rate, right? When I want to buy a new car, when I want to buy a house, or just to have good credit in general, I didn't understand like the magnitude of what I was doing and what kind of habits I was starting for myself so young. So for the past 10, 11 years, I have been struggling to pay off this debt. So I will pay off 2, 3 cards, and then I will not use them for 2 or 3 months, do really good, and then boom, something happens, or I think I need something, or I want something, and I'll go max the suckers out. I'll do good for 3 or 4 months, I'll get them paid down some, and then boom, something happens, my credit score goes up, I apply for another card, add another card to my account. You know, or they send me an offer in the mail and I apply for it, and boom, I get the offer. Or I start a new business, I get a credit card. Okay, great. Now I got a few $100s to blow on this business. Hopefully it works out. Like I've said before, I try to make money online for years. So I was always investing or doing something to attempt to make some more money online, but it was not always successful, right? For years, I have been struggling with the concept of paying down or paying off credit cards. I've just been doing it. And like I said, there's been pockets of time where I have done so well. My credit score has gone up over 700. And then I feel like I hurt myself because I'll max them out again, or I'll go and add another account, okay? Or I had some cards get closed on me because when times got hard and I couldn't pay them, they just closed the accounts on me. So there has been a lot over these past 10, 11 years that I have struggled with. And now I'm in a place where I'm like, I need to buy a house next year. I did like a questionnaire a few months ago. And basically when I'm paying in rent, I can afford a very decent house, townhouse here in Florida for the amount that I'm paying in rent. I could be paying into something that I could own, where I could have equity, a stake in it, right? A lot more space, a lot more freedom to do whatever I want, you know, not being able to paint the walls or hang things up without paying a fine, and being at the mercy of the rental office. You can't do this, you can't do that, and blah, 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 blah. Like what I'm paying in rent, I could have a very nice house. I could, and then also for the like $700 I think I'm spending a month paying off debt, I could probably pay a little bit more and get an even nicer house, right? So at this point, over the past year, I really realized like I have to get this debt in line, or else I will not be able to buy a house. I won't be able to afford a house, and I have to really focus on changing my spending habits. I mean, it's not bad to use your credit cards. What's bad is going more than 30 to 60 days max and not paying what you spent on it back. Because how they get you is they give you all these perks, rewards, these points, this cash back, and it makes you want to use the credit card because you're getting all of that. But if you don't have the cash to pay that back, you shouldn't be using the credit card to get those perks. You should just pay cash, forget the perks, and keep it going, right? Or you need to, if you only have $100 in cash, only spend $100 on that credit card, pay it back so your interest is not high. That's a little rant about how I got to the place that I'm in right now, where I am, where I stand. That's just the brutal, honest truth about me and what my debt journey is, because all of my debts are credit cards except for student loans, which is a whole nother video. I'll do a whole nother day about the trickery of student loans. And again, not understanding the magnitude of private versus public school, and you get grants and you get scholarships, but it doesn't cover it, so you have to get a loan. They force you into a loan. It's like, get a loan or you can't go to this school. You already fell in love with this school. So that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. So my student loans are not listed on here because I have them in forbearance until October, so we won't start talking about them until September when they send me the first you need to start paying next month bill. Okay, so enough with that. Let's go ahead, dive into the debt. I'm going to switch my camera around. And again, I'm looking for grace. I'm looking for understanding. I know that these numbers look crazy, and I know that I could be cutting back a little bit more. But for where I am in my life, this is going to work for me to meet my goal of being able to buy a house and be in my house by the time my lease is up in 2020. Okay, so I have about a year to get my life together so that I can buy a house. Probably a little less than that because I need to be able to apply for the mortgage, find the house, and move in before this lease ends. Okay, and the lease ends at the end of April, so time's a ticking. Got to get my life together. All right, so let's flip the camera and let's show you all how I plan to pay off $17,000 in credit card debt. All right. Okay, so this is my budget planner and this is my debt tracker. This is the one that I did like a week ago that I filmed for you guys. So I haven't, updated this or changed any of the numbers yet because I wanted to just give you guys this. So these are all of my debts. I have 14, not including student loans. And my total as of last week was $17,234.61. I make $762.01 every month worth of minimum payments. That is the minimum payments only. And I am snowballing currently $25. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the debt snowball in just a second. So my total every month that I'm spending on credit cards is $787.01. Okay, I want to talk you through these debts really quickly, and then I'll talk to you about the snowball. So me personally, I am doing, a debt-free journey of my own. I have read a few like Dave Ramsey articles. I watched some YouTubers that budget and are paying off debt. So I've kind of watched a lot of different people, learn from my mistakes over the past few years, and reading business articles, the Budgetnista on Facebook. I have been just getting bits and pieces from everyone, putting it all together and making it work for me. Because I just feel like some of the things are too strict for me, and then some of the things are not strict enough. So I just found the combination that has been working very good for me the past few months. Okay, so as far as my debts, most of these are all credit cards. Okay, so obviously J. Crew is a store credit card. Credit One is like a Visa card. It is, in my opinion, a terrible credit card. I wish I never would have got it. The interest and the way things work, how you can't set up payments for the future, it's just a hot mess. I do not like it. I can't wait to pay it off and really try not to use it. New York and Company is another store credit card. Best Buy, of course, is a Best Buy credit card. Collections. So I am paying off a collections debt from when I had Kinsley almost 5 years ago. I am down to $460, which actually that is now down to, I can put $360 because I made a $105 payment. I just learned that the $5 is like a processing fee. So only $100 per month goes towards it. This doesn't have any interest. I'm going to update this because it's $360.66. Doesn't have any interest. So I'll be done paying this in 3 months. So my last payment will be in June. I promised myself in June, whatever that balance is, I'm paying it completely off. And then that'll be an extra $100, $105 actually, that I'll be able to snowball into something else. Buy Power is a Capital One card. It gives you points toward if you want to buy a car. there's like different types of cars attached to it. They give you points. So if I wanted to buy a car, I think I have like a few $100s towards a car. Not enough to really put a dent in buying a new car, but I got the card. Express is a store card. Victoria's Secret is a store card. Discover card, you guys know what that is. This Quicksilver is another Capital One card. Rooms to Go. I moved into an apartment and I didn't have furniture because when I first moved to Florida, I moved into a vacation home right from college, so I didn't have furniture. So I moved into a fully furnished condo. When I moved out of that condo, I didn't have furniture. So I went and got a Rooms to Go credit card just so that I could have a couch, okay? So I owe $1,431 to Rooms to Go, but it's 3 years, no interest. So I'm not in a total rush to pay this because there's no interest. So I'll just continue to pay the minimum payment on that until everything else is paid off, and then I'll just pay that off because it's no interest. It's really not hurting me at all. It's just as if I paid cash. So that one I'm not worried about. A-Firm, same thing. I needed a mattress, so I ordered a really nice Casper mattress and I financed it because I didn't have a bed. I was sleeping on an air mattress and I wanted to be very comfortable. So I financed the bed. It has a little bit of interest. I think like $500 worth of interest. But the thing about this is that even with that interest, this will be paid off in December 2019. So I'm not in a total rush to like snowball and pay that quickly because I anticipate being at my goal, which I'll tell you about in a second, towards the end of this year. So just paying that regularly will get me there. Macy's store credit card has a ridiculous amount of interest, and that is one that I really need to tackle. And then this one FB USA is like the first credit card that I got when I was 18. The interest rate is ridiculous, and this is actually a closed credit card, but it reports to my credit every single month, so I still have to pay it. I'm on a hardship program right now because the interest rate and the regular payments for this is like, I think close to $200. So I think next month I'm off the program and this bill is gonna skyrocket. And the interest is just so high that I'm like not putting a dent in it at all. So that's one that I need to start to focus on as well, since it does still report to my credit, okay? So that's just me going through each of the cards so you kind of get an idea of what they are and where my brain is. Now let's talk about the snowball. So if you're familiar with Dave Ramsey, he talks about this a lot. Or overall, just if you are familiar with like ways that people pay off debt. So there's two main ways that you can pay off debt: snowball and the debt avalanche. The debt snowball is basically you pay off the cards based on the lowest balance to the highest balance, okay? So for instance, this first line up here, I used to have Walmart. Walmart credit card was my lowest balance, right? So once I paid off that Walmart credit card, I paid it off in January. I took that $25 minimum payment, right here, $25, and I snowball or roll that into my next lowest credit card, which just happens to be J. Crew. So for the past 2 months, J. Crew, I've been making an extra $25 payment in February and in March, because I already paid off Walmart. So then when I pay off J. Crew, I'll have this $27 to roll into the next bill, which will be Credit One, which will help me to pay off Credit One faster. So that is the debt snowball. The debt avalanche is putting your bills in order of the highest interest rate and paying off the highest interest rate first, because that's costing you more because you are accruing more interest. Now, I chose the snowball for the instant gratification to kind of feel like I'm doing something. If I started the avalanche, I'd be paying this first financial for probably over a year, and I feel like I would be not as motivated because I would just be seeing this decrease and not even by a lot, because putting $25 a month to this plus this, when the interest is like $60 a month, I'll be paying that for 2 years before I have a chance to even touch any of the rest of these things to help lower my credit to debt ratio. So I decided that the snowball method is best for me. And then any extra money I get, so whenever I don't use all of my grocery budget sometimes, or if I don't use all of my gas budget, an extra $10, $15, I will roll that over to my credit cards. If I budget a lot more for water and my water bill's super cheap that month, I'll take an extra $10 and throw it on whatever credit card is next in the snowball, okay? So that is what I'm doing. My goal is to have my credit cards by the time I apply for a mortgage, which I plan to apply somewhere around October, November-ish, to have them at least at 30% utilization. I know that's what mortgage brokers are looking for. So my goal is to have them at 30% and to have them all paid off by like early next year. The only exception is probably going to be this first financial because it's just really steep, but it's all going to depend on how much money I make and what I do. So as a result, to set up my debt snowball, I've created a sheet for my happy planner. I literally just created this 2019 debt snowball. And before, in past years, I would set up my snowball for the whole year, but then every 2 months things would change. I'll pay more or I pay less. Something would happen and I would have to use my snowball money for something more urgent. So I decided now I'm going to do 3 months at a time. Okay. So since we're in March, I'm going to do March, I'm going to do April, and I'm going to do May. All right. Once we get in the end of April, I'm going to do May and June and possibly July, just so that I can see what's upcoming. So if I need to change anything or fix anything, I'll have a little bit of leeway to do that. Okay. So let's go over everything. First, I have a scratch piece of paper over here where I listed out, as of like 5 minutes ago, my current balances, because some of the bills that I paid earlier in the month have finally cleared. The interest has been added to the accounts and I have like a new balance. So I had those over here on my scratch paper, and I was able to figure out what the next 3 debts are I need to focus on. So these are it. J. Crew is at $384.93, so that is the next one to snowball into. After that is Credit One. We're at $452.02. I had a big mistake. I thought I paid it and I forgot to pay it, so I got hit with a $25 late fee. I did make a $60 payment, so this is what I'm estimating my balance to be after my $60 payment, because the interest was already put on there, a $25 late fee, and like a $9 protection fee that they have me on a protection program. All those fees were hit. I paid $60, and this is what the balance should be once that $60 payment clears on Monday. All right. And then the third credit card after that is Best Buy. So these are my most current balances. And all right, so these are the 3 that I'm going to be focusing on for March, April, and May. So I have a couple tips here for anyone who's looking to get their debt under control. So my tips are: try the debt snowball first, because it gives you a little bit of instant gratification and allows you to actually see some progress. If you do want to do the debt snowball, I suggest ordering your debts from lowest to highest, okay? You want to write down your balances and you want to write down your interest, just so that you can kind of see, like, some cards are you're paying the minimum, but more money is going to the interest, so you won't actually see the payment going down much more than $10, $15, okay? Then I say figure out your snowball amount. So after you do your budget, do you have an extra $25 to give to debt? Do you have an extra $15? Even if it's an extra $5, even if it's $5, whatever extra you have, allocate that amount, and every month pay that as your snowball and pay the minimum payment on everything else. If you come into extra money or you have more to put on it, definitely put more into it. So those are my tips of what I'm doing to help me in my debt snowball. So if you're interested, that may help you as well. But this is what I came up with. So for March 2019, I'm paying the minimum on everything except for J. Crew. For J. Crew, I paid a $25 snowball, and that came from Walmart. And then because in March I get paid 5 times and I only budget for 4, I'm going to use some of my extra money to pay off $384.93, and that should completely pay off my J. Crew bill. My J. Crew bill is due on April 5th. So no more interest should accrue. I'm going to pay this bill off the last day of March, so that way I shouldn't have any interest. Worst case scenario, I'll have like $15 in interest to pay in April, which I can totally take care of. But I'm paying off J. Crew this month, okay? Then I had allocated around $500 to pay off credit card debt this month. So I'm going to take an extra $100 and put it on Credit One, because I want to save that extra like $15, $20 just in case I need to put some interest back onto J. Crew. But I'm going to put a minimum of $100 extra onto Credit One to help with that, okay? So that's my plan for March. for April, as long as March goes as planned, for April, my goal is going to be to take the $25 snowball from Walmart and put it on Credit One, because Credit One is next in line. Take the $27 that I usually pay to J. Crew and snowball that into Credit One as well. And then just a general $100, extra $100, and put that onto Credit One. Where is that extra $100 going to come from? Reducing my grocery budget. I have been doing a lot more with Fetch Rewards, Shop Kicks to get more gift cards, excuse me. So my goal for April and the rest of March is to accrue as many Walmart gift cards to help pay for my groceries. So that way, any extra grocery money, I can use that towards my snowball. Also my gas. I'm going to be out of town for a weekend, so that's going to help me save on my gas budget that I keep for home. So hopefully I'm able to take at least like $40 of my monthly gas budget and put that into my snowball. And then just general, if there's anything that I budget for that comes under budget, I'm going to do my very best to get as close to $100 to Credit One additionally as possible. That's my goal. And I think I can do it. Worst case scenario, I can definitely take some of my extra income like from YouTube or from any of my affiliate marketing and use to get to that $100. Regardless, I'm going to get to that $100. Okay? That's just my goal and my plan. And then in May, I also get 5 checks the way that the weeks are laid out. So I'm going to use $300 from my extra check to just pay off Credit One. By that point, it should be down to about $300, if not a little bit less. So we'll be able to just pay it off outright, okay? Then we're going to take our $25 snowball from Walmart and put that to Best Buy. Take our $27 snowball from J. Crew, put it to Best Buy. And take our $25 snowball from Credit One and put that to Best Buy. And then also, because of my extra paychecks, I typically, budget or allocate $500 to go towards debt. I'll take the extra $200 and put that on Best Buy as well. And that is as much as I came up with. Because like I said, I don't want to do more than 3 months out because things change, life happens. But this is just my plan of action that I want to take. And if anything changes, I'll definitely share it with you guys. I'll amend this. So that is it. And this is how I plan to work on them. I will, like I said, I'll do a debt check-in video once a month to kind of show you guys where I am with the snowball and how it's going. I will say that I did come into a little extra money. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I used to work with a company and I was a part of a class action from an older company and they owed us some wages. So I got paid back, a nice amount of money in back wages. So I have to figure out how I'm going to budget that. I put it into my savings for now to help like with any traveling expenses. But if everything goes as planned and my traveling stays under budget, I'll be able to take some of that extra income that I received and use that to help pay off some of my debts as well. So if I do end up doing that, I'll definitely share it with you all. So I really hope that this video was helpful for you to understand where I am in my debt journey and how I am planning to pay it off. I'm going to go month by month, but just 3 months at a time, make a plan and then amend it as we go. All right. If you have any questions, please comment them down below.
And that's it, Maximizers, for my March 2019, how I am paying off my debt/debt check-in. I'll be doing these every month with you all. Hopefully some of these tips were helpful and you'll be able to start paying off any debts that you have. Again, if you have any questions, please comment those down below. Thank you all so much for your support and your grace and understanding. As always, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.